Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're tackling one of those really ancient universal questions. You know the one. It's troubled hearts across time. Why do bad things happen to good people?
Hmm.
It's a question that, well, on the surface, it just feels like a fundamental injustice, doesn't
It
it?
absolutely cuts deep. And, we all see it. We observe it.
Yeah.
We see kindness met with hardship, maybe generosity with loss. And then sometimes, well, the seemingly selfish just seem to prosper without any struggle.
Right.
So our source material for this deep dive today, it's excerpts from a piece called Karma, Suffering, and the Soul's Journey. And it offers this really unique sort of spiritual lens to explore this very human experience of perceived unfairness.
That's the core paradox, isn't it?
Mm.
So our mission today really is to unpack this whole idea. We're going to take a journey through concepts like karma, the soul's path,
Hmm.
and hopefully uncover some surprising insights that might just reshape how you view adversity. Okay, let's unpack this. So our source, it starts right where we just left off, really highlighting this paradox.
Yeah.
We see people, living with kindness, honesty, compassion, yet they face accidents, illness, betrayal, deep loss.
It's hard to watch.
It is. And then conversely, others who appear maybe selfish or even cruel, they seem to rise without much struggle. From just a purely human perspective, it feels profoundly unfair.
And that observation is universal. It spans cultures, time periods. The material points this out, this feeling of injustice. It's a common human thing.
Right.
But then it immediately pivots. It says, okay, ancient spiritual teachings. And it specifically mentions the Vedas, Buddhist philosophy. They offer something else, a deeper truth, they call it.
Which is,
The law of karma.
okay, karma.
Yeah.
That shifts the landscape entirely. So to really get this, let's dive into what the material actually means by karma. At its core, the text defines karma simply as action.
Action, simple word.
Yeah, but then it says every action has a consequence. It's elegant, almost deceptively simple.
It is. But what's really foundational here is how they expand that definition. These consequences, right? They aren't just limited to this life. Ah, okay.
They are, and this is the key phrase, carried across many lifetimes.
Wow.
The source gives this powerful analogy. It invites you to imagine your soul as a traveler.
A traveler.
Yeah, and each life a journey, a chapter in a much larger story.
Yeah.
It paints this, vast cosmic canvas.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The source suggests that some of the suffering we face today, it may not be punishments in the way we think of them.
Right, not like a penalty flag.
Exactly. But instead, it might be the result of actions from a time we can't remember,
Oh.
a different lifetime, a
Yeah.
different version of us. So this isn't about blame in the now. It shifts the whole perspective from current individual fault to,
Yeah.
well, a broader cosmic pattern, like an echo from way back.
That is a radical reframing. I mean, if suffering isn't punishment, then what is its purpose? According to this spiritual lens, what's it for?
Yeah, good question. Well, the material clarifies this directly. It says, this doesn't mean we are bad people if we suffer. In fact, it asserts something quite startling. Most souls who suffer are the ones on a deeper spiritual path.
Wait, why would that be the case? That seems counterintuitive for a lot of us, right?
It does initially,
But-
but the deep dive reveals this profound purpose. It says, because pain awakens us.
Awakens us.
Yeah, it teaches compassion, it breaks ego, it humbles the soul and opens the heart to healing and growth. It completely reframes suffering, almost seeing it as a catalyst.
A catalyst for growth, okay?
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the source states quite plainly, the universe does not punish, it teaches.
It teaches.
Through every heartbreak, every hardship, it suggests that there is a hidden lesson, a soul contract, a cosmic balance being restored.
Okay, soul contract. What does that mean in this context? Like a pre-agreement?
Sort of, yeah. Almost like an implicit, pre-agreed lesson plan for growth that the soul, takes on before incarnating. That's the idea.
Okay, let's try and make this more concrete for you listening. Let's use a practical example from the source.
Good idea.
It offers this specific scenario. You see a kind person going through a major illness, and they ask, understandably, why me? I've never hurt anyone. How does this framework even begin to explain that?
Right. Well, the explanation provided is it's compelling. If challenging, it suggests, but perhaps in a past life, they were a powerful person who misused their influence.
Ah, okay, so the current suffering isn't tied to this life's actions necessarily.
Exactly. In this view, it's a choice the soul made before this life. Their soul, it says, has chosen this experience to learn humility, patience, or surrender.
Humility, patience, surrender.
And it explicitly states it's not revenge, it's balance. It's a beautiful idea, really, but also, yeah, challenging.
Very challenging. Okay, so what about the flip side? What about those who seem to, get away with it? People doing wrong things in this life and seemingly thriving.
That's a fair question. The Source addresses that too. It assures us their karma will find them too in this life or the next. The wheel always turns.
Wheel always turns.
Yeah. It implies this universal, overarching system of accountability that just, it spans beyond any single lifetime. So the idea is ultimately no one really gets away with anything.
It seems the universe has a very long memory then.
Apparently so. So given all this complexity, what does the Source advise? What should we do with this understanding?
Why? What's the takeaway?
Well, it encourages you, the listener, don't fear karma, understand it.
Right.
It advises you to live with awareness and choose kindness.
Not just out of fear.
Exactly. Not just out of fear of consequences, but from the wisdom of the soul. It frames it as a more proactive, empowered approach. Not just avoiding bad stuff, but choosing good from a deeper place.
I like that. And what about for those of you listening who might be going through hardship right now? Does this offer any comfort?
It really tries to. This material offers a very powerful message of hope, I think. It urges, if you are suffering right now, take heart.
Take heart.
Your pain is not meaningless. It provides reasons for this. It suggests your pain may be clearing lifetimes of debt or perhaps preparing you for a higher purpose.
So it's not just about understanding the why intellectually. It's about finding meaning right in the middle of the struggle.
Precisely. And the Source adds this emphasis. You are not alone. It says the universe sees you. You are growing in silence, stronger, purer, wiser. It's meant as this profound reassurance, that even in the absolute toughest moments, there's unseen growth happening.
Wow. That's powerful. This deep dive, it concludes with a really striking, almost poetic thought for you to consider. It says, the good people who suffer, they are often the old souls, the warriors of light.
Warriors of light. And their storms, it suggests, are heavy because their destiny is greater. This whole perspective, it really invites us to reconsider suffering, not just as some random awful affliction, but maybe as a crucible for profound transformation, perhaps even a sign of a grander unfolding purpose.
A crucible, a sign of greater destiny. Heavy stuff.
It is. So the question for you really is, what stands out to you from this whole understanding of karma and the soul's long journey?
Definitely something to think about. Keep those questions brewing, and please join us for our next deep dive.